We are off to a flying start in 2026 in the AUSL, and it's the Utah Talons back in Salt Lake City trying to finish up a perfect opening series led by Hannah Flippen and a host of other stars. Can they silence the Bandits in all 3 games? We will find out in just a few moments. All these stars, I'm with the star in the booth, Amanda Scarborough. I'm Chucky Kempf. It's such a balanced league. There's so much talent all over the place. But in the first week, the reigning champs are positioning themselves as the team to beat.
Yeah, I think that the Talons are reminding everybody across the league why they are the defending champs, winning the first ever AUSL championship. And they did it last year with their pitching and defense. They were so strong, didn't beat themselves very often. And it's been the same story here as they've already won the series against the Bandits, and they will go for the sweep today. On Tuesday, in Game 1, opening day, Montana Fouts got the ball. She pitched the complete game win. She got better as the game went on. And offensively, Bri Ellis just started on a heater, a home run, and a double, 3 RBIs from the 8-hole for Bri Ellis. And then on Wednesday, Bri Ellis was at it again. This is a 1-0 game. The only run scored in this game was off of her bat. That ended up being a triple for Ellis. Sarah Willis got the start, a quality start that she had in the Zerkle. But Megan Framo entered into the 6th inning, got a couple of strikeouts with 2 runners in scoring position. And then in the 7th, the Talons outfield defense stepped up. Jadelyn Allchin in right field, and then Aliyah Andrews in left to seal the deal. A close game, a tight one with all this offense. Last night was just a 1-0 game, and the Talons held on because of their D.
Have shown they can win in all kinds of ways. No runs allowed in the last 13 innings for this Talons pitching staff, and it's been all about Bri on the offensive side. The 2025 USA Softball Player of the Year. So can the Bandits bats get going? Morgan Zerkle says, yes, we can. Hits it off the base of the wall, and she is into second with a leadoff double on the first pitch of the game. Zerkle had one of their 2 hits last night. They've only been out-hit in the series by 2. They just haven't been able to get the run production. Their situational hitting hasn't been great. 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position, 3 for 17 with 2 outs. But Zerkle sets the table for last year's MVP now, Erin Coffel.
Well, when we talked to Shauna Stanton, the head coach of the Bandits, before the game, she talked to us about some offensive focuses that they were going to have in this game. And one was going to be look in one window when you're going up to the plate. You could tell the exact window that Morgan Zerkle was looking for was a rise ball up in the zone. She got her barrel there and hit that ball hard. And one of the other focuses was going to be tough with 2 strikes. So look for the Bandits with 2 strikes to be tougher outs when the Talons pitchers get ahead.
Having been around Shauna Stanton the last couple days at batting practice, you just get the feel she's kind of made for the pro game. The way she approaches it, the way she communicates with players, very laid back, very kind of matter of fact at times. You can see the relationships that she's already building. This is Coffel into left, and here comes Zerkle around from second. And how about that? The Bandits, who didn't score last night, get on the board in the first 2 batters here in Game 3.
They needed this, and Erin Coffel found herself in a hitter's count. Gets a little bit jammed on this screwball, but she's just so strong. Quick hands to the inner half, still able to make the most of that screwball and hit it hard down the left field line. Morgan Zerkle, of course, going to score easily from second base.
So from a couple veterans to now a rookie in Taryn Kern at the plate against Megan Framo, who was lights out last night. Got the save. 0-1 to Kern, outside ball 1.
Well, this is a Bandits team that it was so important for their offense to show up early in this game. They scored in the first inning of the first game, and then they had not scored since the run that you just saw right there by Morgan Zerkle.
Kern into shallow center field. Coleman coming on, isn't going to get there. And that is 3 consecutive hits right out of the gates for Chicago.
Bubble yum.
I like it. She also said no cawing tonight. So they are hearing the caws from the Talon stands. And they don't want to hear it anymore, which they will on an 0-2 count.
They are probably sick of hearing it, and they're hearing it right now. Here's the call. So because hometowns are new for AUSL, we now have different traditions that every ballpark is going to have that these fans and the team are going to learn.
There is a red-tailed falcon in the building.
A hawk. I think a red-tailed hawk.
Through the left side. The Bandits keep it going, and the aggressive base running. Here comes Coffel, and that is an obstruction call on the catcher Palacios. So Coffel is safe at the plate. Alex Leap, the home plate umpire, immediately signaling obstruction when Coffel came around and slid into Palacios.
Yeah, you see she's, before she has possession of the ball, kind of blocking that runner's lane that Erin Coffel had committed to, but Erin Coffel, I think, would have been safe, you know, regardless. But good job by Alex Leap to be right on top of it. That is 4 hits in a row for the Bandits. Tough with 2-strike hit there for Jocelyn Erickson.
No one is looking forward to an off day more than Sharlize Palacios, the Utah catcher, because she has just taken a beating in these first 3 games now. She's been hit by 2 pitches. She's fouled numerous off of herself, and then now gets slid into there by Coffel. Lifted to left center field. Coleman calls off Andrews, and it will be plenty deep enough to not only score a run, but advance a runner to third.
Yeah, good execution there to elevate a ball to the outfield just to be able to get that sacrifice fly and another run on the board. But Jayda Coleman wanted to make a throw to third base. She's angling her body toward third base, knowing that she can't get that home, but nobody was covering third, so there was a delay in her throw. Who knows if it would have made a difference, but it wasn't even close because nobody was there and she delayed her throw.
Remember, there were 13 consecutive scoreless innings that the Talons had put up since the first inning of game 1 when Montana Fouts gave up 2, and then she responded and went the distance with 6 straight scoreless after that. That is just tipped off the bat of Jessica Clements, who re-enters the starting lineup today. She will also get the center field duties, moving Morgan Zerkle over to right field. The Bandits have doubled their hit total from last night in a third of an inning. Clements fouls this away. And the call chance in the 1-2 count for Faremo. Another foul ball. It's interesting, too. You talk about the approach from Shonda Stanton. She's still learning these players. These players are still learning her, whether they came out of the college game and had one approach at the plate, and maybe now they're trying to meet in the middle and figure out what works for everybody. Ground ball right side. Moore goes to a knee. The job done. Clements will take the RBI, and the Bandits are up 4-0.
This already looks like just a completely different Bandits offense that we're seeing in this game. On time, putting up 4 runs, a crooked number in this first inning to immediately put pressure on the Talons that had just been cruising for 13 innings straight, putting zeros on the board.
Well, you don't want to put too much on this opening series. It's still a lot of games to be played in some respects, and in others it's only a 25-game series, so this does feel like a big night for the Bandits, maybe even more so now that they are up 4-0 before the Talons have grabbed a bat. You only play them 2 more times. They'll play twice in Chicago. The teams don't. It's not necessarily a even split as far as 3 games at home, 3 games away. You play everybody 5 times. So the Bandits will only get the Talons in Chicago twice. Can Megan Faremo end the inning here and then try to settle in the second like Fouts did a couple nights ago?
Just how quickly Morgan Zerkle set the tone for Chicago to start off this game. First pitch that she saw, she found an alley out there in right center field, a hard hit ball on a rise ball, and I mean, they just have not looked back since that hard hit ball.
Ground ball left side, gonna be a tough play for Flippin. And I think Sami Williams would have been safe regardless, so it'll likely go down as an infield single, which is hit number 5 in the first inning.
It's going to pull Hannah Flippin deep into the hole, and she goes to her backhand. Everything would have needed to be absolutely perfect with the distance of that throw to have gotten her out.
Bella Dayton now to try and keep it rolling with 2 outs. So the situational hitting is improving drastically for the Bandits in just 1 inning. They've scored 1 more run than they did combined in the first 2 games.
Well, and even the situational hitting, you know, 3 for 4 with runners on, 2 for 3 with runners in scoring position won't even reflect the sacrifice fly RBI as well as the ground ball to second base. Good execution for the outs that they've had in this inning. They've been productive.
And now a single batter has come up and done something that didn't have an impact on this first inning, as that goes outside, ball 1. Did Dayton go? She did. That will end the inning, but what a start for Chicago. Morgan Zerkle set the tone, and the Bandits are up 4. And we take a look at this Utah lineup. Aliyah Andrews still right up top. She was great last night, had a pair of hits, had 1 hit in the opening game. Trying to extend a 5-game win streak that they have going over the Bandits, and you'll see Bree Ellis stays down toward the bottom. She was in the 8 hole on opening night. She moved up to the 7 spot last night and stays there again. They will face a lefty in the circle in Mariah Lopez, who got a big ovation when they announced her name pregame. She's a 2nd-year pro from Peoria, Arizona, but played her college ball right here at Utah. She was the first Utah pitcher since 2012 to have back-to-back 20-win seasons.
Talk a lot about Hannah Flippin returning back home. Cool to see Mariah Lopez doing the same thing, getting to pitch on her old field. Amy Hogue, the Utah head coach, actually threw out one of the first pitches that we saw before the game today.
While Flippin, alongside a former pro Ananisa Ortez, helped Utah to super regionals when they were playing together here. Lopez, back in 2023, actually got Utah to the Women's College World Series. Just missing on the inside corner to Andrews in a 2-2 count. Lopez was actually with this Talons team. She was kind of their 5th arm a year ago. A little bit of an up and down season, but she had some moments where she was really good, primarily in relief. This goes back up the middle, and Aliyah Andrews has really found herself in a green jersey.
Just continues to find different ways to get on base. This is now her 4th hit of the series. Mariah Lopez worked from ahead, and Andrews just made her pitch a few more pitches in that at-bat for a leadoff single.
So speed on first, and now it is the matchup of the Utes. Flippin versus Lopez. Strike 1 to Hannah Flippin. Who do you root for here if you're Amy Hogue? Root for a quality AB and a hard hit ball right at somebody?
Yeah. I think so. That is a tough thing to think about. And if you're a Utah fan, it's like, oh, this is not an easy one. Ute versus Ute.
We get a lot of this in the league. This one unique because it's the only 2 Utah players, so it's more unlikely, but you see a program like UCLA, we have a lot of Bruins throughout the league, so you get some of these matchups, Faremo versus Garcia and things like that. Two-one just up, and now a big-time hitters count here for Hannah Flippen. 2 for 6 with a triple and a walk at the plate in the first 2 games. Ground ball, chance for 2. 𝐒𝐲𝐈 tried to flip it to Coffel, and she couldn't handle it. It was awkward. It was really tight to the base.
Yeah, and trying to be so fast, because you know Aliyah Andrews' speed, even for a routine force out potential there, it makes it trickier. And Erin Coffel tried to barehand that toss from 𝐒𝐲𝐈. She's so close to her too, so that toss just had to have a little bit of touch to it, and it's just kind of an in-between throw, and now Talons have 2 on.
And the dangerous Savannah Jaquesh, who takes strike 1.
You see Savannah Jaquesh back up as that pitch was coming. So Mariah Lopez wanting to work this inner corner to them with her curveball, and as the pitch was coming, Savannah Jaquesh took a step back off the plate, anticipating a curveball in. So then they go outside to combat that.
Now where does Lopez go in a 1-2 count, nobody out and 2 on? Stays away and a little up that time, 2-2. Swing and a miss. A big first out for Lopez.
And moving the ball around on the inner half and on the outer half too, and then throwing a curveball that has a little bit of up to it to get the swing and miss. Jaquesh wanting to have a moment there with the runner in scoring position and a chance for an RBI, but it's a strikeout for Lopez.
Jayda Coleman takes the off-speed pitch for strike 1. Coleman 2 for 5 with a double in the first couple games.
And Lopez is going to throw, it's a tricky lefty-on-lefty matchup here because of her curveball that she'll throw the majority of the time, or the higher percentage at about 44%. Mix in her changeup like that, and then also mix in her rise ball as well. So lefty-on-lefty matchup, she can throw that curveball backdoor on the inner half, and then mix in a changeup too, like she just did to Coleman for the second strike, and move the ball up in the zone.
Reaching, tags it out into shallow left. Long run for Dayton, it gets by. Here comes Andrews around from second to score. Jayda Coleman picks up the RBI.
Well, and the pitch call here was a curveball, 3 balls out, and Mariah Lopez locates that pitch 3 balls off the plate. That's where it was supposed to be, but Coleman just gets it off the end of the bat. Bella Dayton was respecting her power and playing pretty deep out in left field, and it just falls. But again, the Bandits defense has been let them down throughout this series, and we're seeing it in this inning as well. That play at second base did go down as an error on 𝐒𝐲𝐈. And that, we talked about it coming into this game. The Talons, pitching, and defense has been on point. The Bandits have had moments where their defense has let them down. Even that ball was in the air a long time for Bella Dayton to potentially have made that play if she was maybe positioned differently to start.
Really, the only ball that was hard hit in the right spot was Aliyah Andrews. Flippen's was hit decent, but to Agbayani. And then the floater there from Coleman out in the left field. Sharlize just stays on that. The last pitch was also a changeup at 56. That one dropped a couple more miles per hour off at 54. I'm just glad to see Sharlize foul one that didn't hit her.
Yeah, she's probably really glad too.
Two-two. So Mariah Lopez was with the Talons a year ago. Now with the Bandits out of the reserve athlete pool. They are missing 3 of their primary 5 pitchers on the temporary inactive list, finishing up their Japanese seasons right now. So Lopez, Amber Pfizer, who was the opening day starter, and Bree Copeland, who we saw last night was excellent in relief, are the 3 fill-ins.
A lot of pitches that Mariah Lopez is throwing in this inning. It seems like the more and more she labors, even though the Talons still down by 3, the more and more momentum that goes back on their side here.
Hard hit, and it is a fair ball. That's going to roll all the way to the corner. Sharlize Palacios on her horse, headed for 3. It's a triple. She was moving a little better than we saw her last night. After the foul ball off her foot, feeling much better today.
Palacios handling another 2-strike pitch and sending it the other way, just using every single inch of that line. It looked fair to me off the bat.
The Bandits are challenging that the runner at second base left early. That play is under further review.
And so the Bandits aren't going to challenge if it was fair or foul. They're going to challenge if the runner at second base left early. That's what they're going to challenge here.
After review, the call in the field is upheld. The runner left on time. This is Chicago's first challenge with 1 remaining.
Man, this is just, quite frankly, crushing if you're the Bandits. You lost the series, hadn't scored in 13 innings, come out and put a crooked number up in a 4 spot, and then the Talons just answer right back with a 3 spot and a chance to score more. Runner at third base, less than 2 outs.
Now Jadelyn Allchin at the plate with just the 1 away in the inning after the triple from Sharlize, and the Talons now have 3 triples on the year after just 2 all of last year.
That is in large part to their new home field here. That is 225 down the lines, 235 to center field, a large-sized college softball field that is a pitcher-friendly park and a triple-friendly park.
I said this on opening night when we talked about the dimensions of this field, but it's very likely the Talons, regardless of the power they have on their roster, which they do have power hitters, they will likely be last in home runs and probably very high up there in triples and doubles. Allchin to center, back goes Clements. Clements coming on, the throw home is not going to get there. Palacios scores. And we are tied at 4 apiece.
Just more good execution. Is Allchin able to lift a ball out to the outfield and plate another run, and the Talons come all the way back. So many 2-strike hits that they've had in this inning. In fact, they've had 3 hits in this inning. All have been with 2 strikes. They have been tough outs, continuing to put the ball in play. Aliyah Andrews started that trend when she led off the inning with a 2-strike hit right back up the middle of the field.
The only good thing about Bri Ellis being at the plate, if you're a Bandits fan, is that nobody is on base right now. She has just been on fire out of the gates, leading this team. 4 for 5 at the plate, a walk. She's hit for the cycle in the first 2 games of the season. Not in 1 game, but over the course of those 2 games has done it.
We'll talk about 2-strike hits. She's had Three of her 4 hits have been with 2 strikes. The Talons just have been really good, really tough outs.
Just an incredible start after a slow rookie season. Gets a lot of this to deep right center, and it's carrying, and it is gone! Bri Ellis tops her rookie season total in just 3 games. That is power. Mom and Dad loving it in the stands here in Salt Lake City.
Being able to hit a changeup the opposite way, she didn't even get all of it, but she's just so strong that this ball just continued to carry. No wind to deal with blowing into the field tonight. Bri Ellis is so strong. Second home run of the season, second home run in 3 games, and Utah takes the lead just out of the reach of Morgan Zerkle.
Let's go down to Anna, who has Bri Ellis.
All right, Bri, how's the wind right now? I know last time we were out of breath.
Let me see. Oh, the wind, the breath, still not there. It's okay, though. It's worth it. I'll take it.
All right, so the Bandits started off strong, but you guys bounced right back. How important was that home run to bring momentum to this dugout?
Honestly, home runs are great, but the most important part of that was those at-bats we strung together at the beginning. I mean, beginning of the season, we're still trying to find, we're still trying to find our identity as a team, and I think being able to get punched in the mouth hard, 4 runs the first inning, and be able to punch back and also get ahead, it's huge, and it says a lot about who we are as a team.
All right, go catch your breath. Thanks, Bri.
Thank you.
Shaggy.
Anna's ruthless. Bri Ellis didn't hit the bottom step before she was ready for an interview.
You know what it's like when you run at altitude? Like, you don't have the same breath that you have when you're running at sea level or Chicago or Oklahoma City. I mean, it just is so different, even when you're trotting around for a home run. It really does take your breath away. Remember, we'd go and play travel ball tournaments in Colorado, and they didn't have fences at a lot of the fields that we play on in like 12U and 14U, and you would hit it, just have to, it'd be an in the park home run. But your lungs like hurt when you got to home, and you actually could not catch your breath. We're at about, how many feet above are we?
We're up there. That's
like 4,500 feet, 4,700 feet.
I can tell you, if we were about a mile in front of us, we would be a lot higher.
Yeah.
In the mountains.
Beautiful mountain that we get to look at, call a game.
Feels like a very science question for somebody who, when we discussed this yesterday, neither of us are necessarily academics in that way.
No, we need Michelle Smith. Michelle Smith would be all over it. She helps me with scientific things a lot. And working with her for so long, you know, she starts to rub off on you.
Seems like you didn't listen enough. You would know that answer.
Listen some, just not quite enough. Yeah. Memory has a little bit to do with that, I think, too.
Now Caroline Jacobsen with 2 outs in the bottom of the first of a 9-run inning between these 2 teams. We had 8 total runs scored in the first 2 games. We had 1 last night.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Life just has a funny way of balancing itself out, always. 1 run scored last night, 9 runs scored in the first inning. Man.
Swing and a miss from Jacobsen. Nice job by Iakopo behind the dish to pick it up. Well, the Talons strike right back.
And Bri Ellis is having fun early in this 2026 season, which is a key for her to hit like this. 1 home run in her rookie season last summer, 2 home runs in 3 games to start out this season.
Now Megan Faremo tries to make some of those adjustments here. 𝐒𝐤𝐺 was trying to test the defense with some small ball, but it's a foul ball. And Faremo has seen the recipe from Montana Fouts in that first game, as you showed us, Amanda. 𝐒𝐤𝐺 lets that go upstairs for ball 1. Ilana Agbayani is from Mililani, Hawaii. She started her career at BYU, finished at Oklahoma. Oklahoma upset this year in Norman by Mississippi State in Super Regionals, missing the Women's College World Series. And we asked Ilana, what'd you do after the season, before the pro year started? Said, I actually got to go home. She got to go back to Hawaii. Said she got out on the beach, and it seemed like just the reset she wanted. Hard hit ball picked by Flippin, and she got her.
Yeah, Flippin was watching that throw, hoping that it was going to get there in time, trying to play that hop. Tricky one off the end of the bat of Agbayani that Hannah Flippin had to work to find an in-between hop, not easy, and then the stretch by Bri Ellis with that throw across the diamond.
Back to the top of the order. Remember, it was Morgan Zerkle who just moments ago, it seemed like, took the very first pitch of the game into the right center field gap that started a streak of 4 consecutive batters with a hit and scoring for the Bandits. Ground ball right side. That is a nasty hop at Maddie Moore. Zerkle won't test it, and I don't know how they're going to rule that, but you can't really fault Maddie Moore.
Has to be a hit. The last hop right there just took off, and you see her trying to stay down and stay low. Takes off on her.
And she just about got that to go in her glove. So Zerkle had a double. Coffel had a single to drive her in right after. Strike one on the outside corner.
You know, early in game one, when the Bandits scored those 2 runs against Montana Fouts, they were really keen in on pitches that were more up in the zone, and they were able, the pitching staff and Montana Fouts and the pitch calling were able to make the adjustment to then go more down in the zone with her drop ball and more inside to the Bandits' left-handed hitters. You're seeing 𝐕𝐴MO take that same approach now after the first inning when she gave up those 4 runs. The Bandits handle pitches up in the zone very well. They've proven that. But already in the second inning, we're seeing more drops from 𝐕𝐴MO and more off-speed pitches out of her hand as they were just on time with up in the zone. Same thing happened against Fouts.
Ball 4 with 1 out, so there's 2 on. Big chance here for the 3 spot in the Chicago order, Taryn Kern. Speaking of Fouts, saw her out in the bullpen, not really getting ready, but there's a good chance that if they do go to the pen, Montana would be one of the options after an off day yesterday.
We'll have an off day tomorrow as well. Travel day for everybody to get to where they need to be for the next series, including us. We'll head to Chicago, and the Cascade will come here.
Yeah, Utah back-to-back series at home. The same goes for the Carolina Blaze, who will stay in Durham. They picked up the series win over the Cascade, 2-1, but Portland got on the board today with a really impressive offensive performance.
12 runs in 1 inning put up by Portland.
Corby Otis hit a grand slam. Megan Grant hit an absolute missile last night in a loss, but I don't know if we'll ever see a ball hit like that again. If we do, it's probably going to be her.
Yes, or somebody like Bri Ellis could do it too.
Outside, ball 1.
Yeah, it's been such a great opening series. I mean, just watching softball, 3 games in a row, triple header for 3 days in a row. It's been awesome.
Kern goes up to get one out into left field where Andrews wants it. Well, let's look at that Megan Grant blast. How many feet, Amanda?
313 to be exact, off of Carlin Pickens, who she'd also hit a home run off of in the Women's College World Series. But towering is shot. It went so high. That's the ball The arrow is pointing at the ball. It went so high and so far. 313 feet, 86 miles an hour off of her bat.
So I mentioned all those connections that we talk about with. One of them is the UCLA products in this league. So you're going to get Megan Grant at some point this year against Megan Faremo and against Rachel Garcia, and kind of those different generations of Bruins will get the chance to square off.
And it went so high. We thought we'd talk to you about how high it went. 66 feet, which is equivalent to the height of 15 cars stacked on top of each other, and roughly the height of a 6 to 7 story building. I mean, wow. And that was her first game.
Not too bad of a start for Megan Grant.
Megan Grant's first game. I was thinking about, you may or may not know the answer. Was that the first Cascade home run, or did they hit one in game 1? I know. I should have asked you before the game. I'm sorry. But we're going to find it out.
Part of me wants to say it is.
I know, I think so too. It's a way to do it. And it's so fun to be one of these two expansion teams with Oklahoma City Spark and the Portland Cascade, because you get to have those first again that we had so many of last year in the inaugural season. We had the first strikeout, the first home run, the first win, and now we get a little taste of that with the Spark and the Cascade. Sis Bates scored the first run. She had the first hit, the first home run. You know, we get all that again with both the Spark and the Cascade.
Who had the first home run in league history? Pop quiz, by the way.
Sierra Sacco.
There you go. Popped up and playable for Jaquish, who makes the catch. So Faremo bounces back, strands a pair, and puts up a 0 here in the second inning in Salt Lake City.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City. What you just saw was some behind the scenes from this year's spring training down in Vero Beach, Florida. And I actually got to spend a couple days down there at spring training. And over again, what I heard from these players was that they felt like this was a true pro experience. Montana Fouts told me, down there you eat, sleep, breathe softball. And another thing I know they really appreciated was the time they got to bond together. They were living together, eating together, and of course, training together. And that is team bonding. They're building their chemistry, and they all really appreciated that, Chucky.
This was a Bandits team that ate every meal together down in Vero Beach, Florida, and really got to know each other. A team that lost plenty in the expansion draft and is trying to rebuild. Their general manager, Jenny Dalton-Hill, told us they have all the pieces to be successful again this year. It's just about everyone kind of settling into their roles, and they have changed.
Yeah, everything's a little bit different because everything got shuffled up in the expansion and then allocation draft that we had on the same night. So expansion draft because we added the Spark and the Cascade, and then the allocation as we had to get new players to some players that were taken from, oh, so cute. There's Jenny Dalton-Hill, Bandits GM.
Heads up play over at first base to let that roll. She's also on grandma duty. She's got a lot of the family who are out here in the Utah area in attendance, and so she is playing grandma over GM
sweet.
Right now.
I got very sidetracked when I saw her just looking so happy, picking up that baby. Oh, so cute.
Aliyah Andrews in an 0-1 count, second inning of work for Mariah Lopez. Both of these GMs would tell you, Lisa Fernandez and Jenny Dalton-Hill, how difficult the offseason was, because when you have expansion, you have to make room for these teams to be able to compete right away. So you have an expansion draft, and as a part of that, as Andrews bunts it again and is out at first, I think there might be a challenge coming. She wanted it at least.
That was so close, and Jocelyn Erickson got tested again. Aliyah Andrews went right back to a bunt down the first baseline, and first one rolled foul as it went on, and then Jocelyn Erickson gets tested again. A bang play, the left-handed first baseman able to make it. She got rid of that ball so quick. She got to it quick. It looked like she was going to be beat, but that is all Jocelyn Erickson with the gold glove of a type of first baseman.
Strike one to Hannah Flippen. So as I mentioned, you can protect 5 players in the expansion draft. And the Bandits kept 3 of their top bats, Erin Coffel, Morgan Zerkle, Skylar Wallace, and then their top 2 arms, Lexi Kilfoyle and Taylor McQuillan. But in doing so, you lose some extremely talented players. Sydney McKinney, who is one of the best offensive players in the league. Bubba Nichols didn't hit for a high average, but had the 2nd most home runs. And Delaney Wiz, who I think we both appreciate the versatility she offers, as well as the clutch gene. She had 2 game-winning hits for them last year.
Yeah, so there's that, and then coaching changes on staff. Then you have players in Japan, and Jenny Dalton-Hill talked about that this is a team that truly has all the tools to be successful, but it's just going to be figuring out how to fill their roles completely that are maybe new roles that they're in. For example, Erin Coffel, while Skylar Wallace is in Japan, she's playing shortstop. It's a all-rookie right side of the field with 𝐒𝐫𝐢𝐻 and Erickson. Just a different looking team that the Bandits have to start this season and trying to find that chemistry.
Long way to run for 𝐒𝐫𝐢𝐻, who gets there, and a nice stretch by Erickson as well. The 2 rookies combining to put up a clean 2nd inning. So after a 9-run first, we get nothing in the 2nd. Faremo back out there for her 3rd inning of work. Gave up 4 in the first, nothing in the 2nd. We are also joined live by Sarah Willis, who is in the Talons dugout. Sarah, congratulations on a great start to the season. What was it that just felt like it worked so well last night?
I mean, I think just being able to throw all my pitches. I had a really good time. I was working with SJ behind the plate, and then just my defense had my back. Anytime the ball was hit on the ground or in the air, they were there to make the play. So having that confidence in them, just to be able to have confidence in myself and be able to throw my game.
Mary Iakopo leads off the inning for the Bandits. Fouls that towards Sarah over in the dugout.
Sarah, let's chat a little bit about your changeup. When did you know that you had a fantastic changeup in your youth softball career, or maybe even when you got it to college? Tell me about it when you found it.
I just think that it was the first pitch that I learned aside from a fastball. So I think I've just been working on it for so long that I'm just able to make it my own. And
oh no.
I think just being able now to throw it at different speeds really keeps holding people accountable on not being able to sit on one type of speed for me. And so just being able to spot it in any place that I want and throw it at any speed that I want has made me really effective.
Okay, you just told me something that perked my ears that I didn't know about you, that you'll throw it at different speeds. So when you're manipulating your speed, that's done on purpose by you.
Yes, absolutely. Because sometimes it'll be in the mid-50s, and sometimes it could be down to 38, 39 miles an hour. So it really just depends on who is up and if they look like they're sitting it or not, if they're fouling it off straight back, all those different things, kind of just quickly go through my head. And then also sometimes our catchers will give me a motion to be maybe throw it a little bit lower, more off of the plate. Same thing with the coaching staff. Sometimes they're going to give me a sign to throw it a little bit more off the plate, just so I have the direction of where I want to throw it and what spot I want to put it into. Mary
Iakopo just singled and makes way for Jessica Clements with nobody out here in the 3rd inning. Sarah, do you know? Ooh, and Alex Leap just took that on a foul ball. Looks all right. Sarah, we've talked about the overhand throw, of course, that you do every time. If our viewers aren't familiar, Sarah comes out and warms up with an overhand pitch first. Do you know how hard you can throw that pitch?
I think that I'd probably be sitting around 50 to 60 miles an hour when I really put something behind it. So I feel like if I threw a real baseball, I could get up to probably low 80s.
I'm just going to tell
fast,
you,
but
you threw one last night, 64 miles per hour overhand.
Really?
Blew me away.
It came up on the track, man.
Let's go. I wonder if that was the one that I threw by Sarah Gordon, because there was one that I just threw and it was not anywhere near her. So
no, it was a strike. It was a strike. Oh, okay. It was a dart.
Okay,
it was the 2nd or 3rd inning. It was so impressive. Where does that, we told the story before, but for our new viewers, where does that come from?
So my first few years at the University of Washington, our coach 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐥𝐢𝐳𝐞, he was he was I think you should go out and do that just to mess with the other team. But then also, I feel like it's a good set for me because it's one overhand throw, so I don't forget how to throw overhand. So when a ground ball comes back to me, I'm able to just make a good throw to the field. Because you get in the repetition of throwing underhand so many times that sometimes I forget how to throw the ball overhand, so I hit him with the toss. So the overhand throw is just a little bit of different things. But yeah, it started at my freshman year at Washington.
0-2 count with the call chance, and Clements fouls it off.
Last night in the post-game presser, you were talking about this pitching staff and learning from Montana and Megan and everybody on the pitching staff. Just what is that like in the bullpen to get to pick each other's brains on this Talons pitching staff?
I mean, I just think it's such a unique experience because you're pitching with so many other pitchers that all throw different stuff than you. So everybody's giving different ideas and different just like ways to pitch, and their way may not be the way that I do it, but like their way works for them. And I think we're all just able to be effective. And I think like I looked up to Montana and Megan and Dallas, like getting to watch them when I was younger. So it's just been awesome to get to talk to them. And then also like just getting to learn from them because I really want to learn that Montana Fouts rise ball. So.
Sarah, thank you so much. Congrats on a great start.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Well, that last play was a line shot to Savannah Jaquish, and the Talons, clearly the timing was there of the double up, but the question is, where was Bri Ellis's foot? Which base was it on?
Utah is challenging the call at first base. The call on the field is safe. The play is under further review.
See.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe.
Interesting.
This is Utah's first challenge with 1 remaining.
That's not what I saw, but that's okay.
First challenge for the Talons, so each team only has 1 remaining, and as we mentioned, although both have been unsuccessful, it doesn't matter if they're successful or not. You only have 2 per game, and then of course same rule as college with the 6th inning on. The umpires can initiate a review if they choose to. This is Sami Williams, who reached on an infield single to shortstop her first time up. Williams puts a charge into one to left center. It's gone! Sami Williams was excellent defensively last night, and that is a big-time swing from the Iowa State great.
She hit the ball hard last night, too. 0 for 3 with nothing to show for it. But we talked to Shauna Stanton about her and her ability to recover after a tough game 1 where she made 2 critical errors in that game over at third base. Did not carry that into game 2 at all. Played an awesome defense at third base. Had some quality at bats last night. Again, 0 for 3, but is 2 for 2 today with 2 RBIs with that home run.
That is production out of the 7-hole. Let's go down to Anna Camden with Sami.
All right, first, Sami, I need the story of this hat. What brought that on?
This is our home run hat. I'm new to the team, but I guess they had it last year, so they had to make sure it got here safely this season.
Amazing. All right, you guys, 8 hits already. What's been working for you tonight that's different from the first 2 nights?
I think we're just focusing on timing her up. We're getting a lot of good contact, and we're not letting the counts beat us. We're just fighting through the counts.
Thanks, Sami.
Yeah.
Chucky?
Sami Williams with the home run hat. Okay, I like it. It's a tradition. We are going to get a look at the Chicago fans' traditions as well. And of course, the Bandits had been around previously in the National Pro Fast Pitch League, but they are reanimated in the AUSL. So these caw chants that we have in Utah, I'm excited to see what we get in Chicago.
Can't wait. It was a hard hit ball by Bella Dayton, and then an error out in center field by Jayda Coleman, which is just not very common at all. But how about this Chicago response here in the 3rd inning?
Down to the 9-hole, still just 1 out here for Ағбайани, and you have the top of the order coming up next in Zerkle and Coffel, who have each reached in their first 2 ABs. Ilana still looking for her first professional hit.
And you to let that rise ball go, chasing it a couple of times, doing exactly what Megan Frema wants her to do with that pitch. A screwball that likely is going to set up a rise ball here that she'll throw to her again.
Ilana Ағбайani is a Gold Glove second baseman, former Conference Player of the Year at her First college stop, BYU, just down the road in Provo, Utah. She had a great golden ticket moment. They kind of propped her up on their shoulders in Oklahoma. Patty Gasso, in her press conference afterwards, said she was not expecting this, and the whole program was thrilled for Ilana, who is going to go down on strike. Sharlize pump fake for just a second, and that is that aggressive base running Shonda Stanton wants to see as Dayton makes it over to third.
Would love to know what she's saying, and she's mic'd up, so you know, maybe we can get a little gist of what she's saying eventually, even if we don't hear it on air. I just love to know, because she was passionate about something, and I love hearing Shonda Stanton coach about base running.
Prime opportunity for the Bandits to pad their one-run lead with Zerkle. Nice job by Sharlize to scoop it up.
You've hit the ball hard in this inning. You even think about the line drive to Savannah Jaquesh that almost was turned into a double play, and that mistake with the footwork at first base, that was a costly mistake when you think about how this inning has played out.
It's probably one thing, depending on how this game goes, the Talons could have one of those ifs too, but when you look at the first two games for the Bandits, a lot of what ifs, especially on the defensive side of the ball. The run last night didn't say it was unearned, but defensively they could have done a little bit more, as Zerkle hits it hard but grounds out. But the Bandits respond. Sami Williams, two-run shot, first of the year for Chicago. Brady's hit a couple long balls. She was excellent last year in this Talons jersey, but was the first pick in the expansion draft, and that had to be a very difficult decision for Lisa Fernandez to not protect her. And then Kirk Walker, the general manager for the Oklahoma City Spark, said, "I'll take her. I'm used to seeing her at UCLA from his days on staff there."
Well, to your point, we had 2 Grand Slams in one day by Tiare and Maya, and we had 2 Grand Slams all of last AUSL season. Then we had another one today by Corby Otis of the Portland Cascade. So we've already had 3 Grand Slams, 3 games in.
Up and in at Savannah Jaquesh, and now in a big hitter's count. See if she's got the green light. 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk to start the third inning. This feels like a big frame for the Bandits to keep the momentum going. They put up a 0 last time they were in the field with Lopez settling in, but can they do it in back-to-back frames? Jayda Coleman next. She was a first-round pick of the Talons in the allocation draft, which came immediately following the expansion draft back in December now. But this is where they went because of losing Maya Brady. You need that elite talent in the outfield, especially on a big field like this, so you go get Jayda Coleman. What is your Jayda Coleman moment? If you think of Jayda Coleman and you told people about one moment, what is it?
Do you have one in mind?
I do, yeah. It's the catch at the World Series.
That's a good one. I just always go back to the fact that she's a left-handed shortstop in high school. And that tells you everything that you need to know about how athletic that she is, that she played Texas high school softball shortstop left-handed, but too many at OU to name. 4-time national champion. And just electric at the plate, electric out in center field on defense. Super pumped that she's here playing in AUSL for her first season, and she's had a hit in every game.
She played the last 2 years with the Oklahoma City Spark before they joined the AUSL, so she's a third-year pro. She was just shy of becoming a 4-time first-team All-American. She got the second-team nod as a senior. Lopez could not pull it in, and now 2 aboard with nobody out.
Her second at bat, where Mariah Lopez gets ahead with 2 strikes, and the pitch call is a curveball, 3 balls off the plate. Exact same thing happened in her first at bat, and she was able to get off the end of the bat and fly it out to left field for a hit. This time it's a hard ground ball up the middle of the field, but that is 2 or 3 balls off the plate that she still is able to do something with.
And now Sharlize Palacios, another third-year pro from Chula Vista, California. Started her career at Arizona, played 3 years there. One of them was COVID. And then finished with a couple years at UCLA.
Hit it off of her foot again. Oh, she hit a foul ball off of her front leg in last night's game. That was extremely painful for her, and then also got hit by a pitch in her other foot. Was that the same at bat?
I believe it was.
Yeah, and then now hitting off the top of her foot.
Earlier today, she had double shin guards on. She had one on each leg, but she did put one away, but she might rethink it. Who knows? Fooled by that pitch in the dirt from Lopez. This is a big at-bat right here for Palacios and for Chicago. Ground ball left side, just foul. Chicago would have loved for that to stay fair. Action out in the Chicago bullpen. It is the opening day starter Amber Pfizer getting ready. She just was announced as the new pitching coach at Tulsa under their new head coach, DJ Gasso. This one is ball four to Palacios, and the bases are loaded. You talked about grand slams, already 3 this season. And now there is another opportunity here. Day done for Mariah Lopez, and enter Amber Pfizer, the Chicago opening day starter who went 4 innings, gave up only 3 hits and 3 earned runs, 5 total runs, but we discussed it after that night. We felt like she threw really well on opening night.
Yeah, she did. There was some lack of command at a few times, but you know, that just happens on opening day. You're just getting back into the swing of things, but she found different ways to get out. She threw 4 innings and only gave up 3 hits. Gonna throw a lot of different versions and variations of a curveball, regular curve, backdoor curveball, off-speed curveball. Can also move the ball up with her rise, but that curveball has been her pitch that she pitched at Minnesota and helped lead them to the Women's College World Series for the first time.
That was in 2019 when she was a first-team All-American, won 31 games with a sub 1.3 ERA that year. Pinch runner for the Talons is the Georgia rookie, Sarah Gordon. Been her primary role in this opening series. First batter for Pfizer, Jadelyn Allchin, who takes the first pitch outside. We have seen this situation before. On the flip side, Montana Fouts was in this spot with nobody out and the bases loaded and got out of it without allowing a run. It was a turning point in that game for Utah. Now Chicago trying to give them a taste of their own medicine. Just outside, 2 close misses on the balls, and it's a 2-1 count.
Yeah, continuing to try to throw that backdoor curveball on the outside part of the plate to a left-handed hitter and trying to find her release point with that pitch, like she did one time before.
Allchin right side. The throw home is in time. And so in similar fashion to Fouts, a ground out, and there's one away. Well, guess who? Here comes Bri Ellis, who is on fire right now.
Yeah, got herself into a hitter's count, hit an opposite field home run on a changeup. She is one of the strongest players in the league. Didn't even get all of that with the changeup. She was a little bit out in front, but an opposite field home run on a changeup by Bri Ellis. It shows you how strong she is.
Strike one on the inside corner, and Anna is with Bri's mom and dad.
All right, guys, I've got her mom and dad here who are naturally her biggest fans. And Ron, that's a pretty good looking hat you got there. Why don't you tell me about it?
Well, as they say in the AUSL, this is legendary. So I started wearing this hat when she was about 11 years old, and her hitting started taking off. And I'm not really superstitious, but I am a little stitious, so I kept wearing it.
And I believe you've got some duct tape holding it together. Can you show us that?
I do. So you know, it's all in the hat. So I had to keep it going.
Not to be outdone by Brie's mom, you've got a spreadsheet. Tell us about that spreadsheet.
Well, Anna, I have all of her home runs since her first one when she was 9 years old, and it's color-coded by the year she played, 10U, 12U, all the way through her last year at Arkansas. And while we were sitting here, Anna, I had to add to it because she got a home run tonight. So we're at 188 since she was 9 years old.
100 and what home run?
188 home runs in her
188 home runs, and hoping for another one right here. So I'm sure you guys want to lock in. And so we'll go back to you, Chucky.
Thank you so much. The spreadsheet might look a little different by the end of this year. She's already off to a tremendous start.
It's Molly and Ron, Briellis's parents, and Molly with the spreadsheet. I mean, the hat is legendary, the spreadsheet is legendary, and that is a commitment to track every single home run since she was, I think, 8 years old?
9 years old.
9 years old was her first home run that she hit out of the park.
One of 3 players in the league with 2 home runs right now. Takes the 0-2 outside. She just looks like Briellis again. She just wasn't in it last year as a rookie. It was just a little bit off, and you know how challenging that can be. We've seen that with other players who come out as rookies and the stresses of the college game and how long the season is can wear on you. Erin Coffel came out of college and had a rough rookie year before the AUSL's inception in the past version of it, which is now known as the All-Star Cup, that's still played, the leaderboard format. And she's now an MVP of this league.
Yeah, and she said in the post-game press conference after game 1, Briellis did, that the resilience it took to get there and the belief when I didn't really feel like it and I didn't want to, that she still, you know, worked hard. And it's fun when things go your way, but she admittedly said, you know, it took a lot of resilience and fight and deep belief to work in the off season and find that joy and find that fun again. And what a start for her. Her first at bat on opening day was a home run.
1-2. So I mentioned Pfizer, who just got the pitching coach job at Tulsa under DJ Gasso. DJ Gasso and Briellis worked together a lot when he was at Arkansas as one of their hitting coaches, and Brie and him even got together in the middle of the season last year when they ran into each other in the kind of touring format that we saw in the AUSL.
Now she has to come to her here and try to make a good pitch. Bases loaded, nowhere to put her. You have to find a corner here.
Fouls this pitch off. Do you remember the last Briellis grand slam that she hit?
SEC tournament?
SEC tournament.
Nice. They did not give her one pitch to hit in the 3 at-bats, I think, before that. All balls. The only pitch, the only strike that she got was the grand slam, and it was a walk-off grand slam.
3-2. And she just keeps fighting off pitches.
She also talked about some off-season adjustments that she made. She was doing some tweaks, some experimenting in the off-season, and important for her, she said, to stay loose with her upper body and fire her legs. That's what she thinks about when she's in the box, and the adjustments that she made.
Again, out in front. That was pitch number 11 of the at-bat.
Well, and I could tell you this is not fun if you're Amber Pfizer, because it constantly feels like, oh, I have to make another pitch. And she fouled that one off, and I thought that that was a good pitch. In on her hands with a backdoor curveball.
Another 3-2. She got her finally. Pfizer wins it. A big yell, and she earned it against Ellis.
What a pitch by Amber Pfizer. She has the mentality. When you watch her pitch, she is competitive. She is gritty, Amber Pfizer is. And she is not going to give in, even in a deep at-bat like that against a home run hitter. And Briellis gets her on the off-speed curveball, and she loves it for out number 2, trying to work her way out of this jam.
Now Caroline Jacobsen, who struck out swinging against Mariah Lopez in her first at bat. Jacobsen 0 for 6 to start the season, much different than what she did last year. Just came flying out of the gates, but jumps ahead of Pfizer 2-0.
And the thing about that Bri Ellis at bat is that Pfizer started out in an 0-2 count against Bri Ellis, and she worked her way all the way back into that count and fouled off several pitches.
3-0. Strike one catches the top of the zone from Pfizer. Their general manager, Jenny Dalton-Hill, picked up Amber Pfizer out of the reserve athlete pool. Really likes what she can do. Excited to have her join this team. But Jacobsen rips it to center and is off the wall. A bases clearing double for Caroline Jacobsen, her first hit of the 2026 season.
Curveball on the outer half, and I thought that Jacobsen was going to hit this out of here, and it would have been out of here on any other park in this league. Deep, deep, deep part, 235 to center field, hits off the top of the wall, and more two-out scoring for the Talons.
Talons had really struggled with runners in scoring position entering this game. That is the third lead change of the night. This is more of a first half of a basketball game than the first half of a softball game right now.
Oh, and how devastating that is for Amber Pfizer. Comes in, working her tail off in that Bri Ellis at bat. 12 pitch at bat, gets the strikeout, only to then have Caroline Jacobsen right after her hit that double. And props to Caroline Jacobsen for having Bri Ellis's at bat. Bri Ellis was talking to Anna just about this team and how they are so connected and finding different ways to win. And if it's not going to be Bri Ellis one night, which remember she already has a home run, that's why she was talking to Anna, then it's going to be somebody else being able to pick her up at the bottom of the order, getting some bottom half of the order scoring here for Utah.
Two-two to the rookie, Maddie Moore. 3-2. This is skied into foul territory, close to the fence, and it will get down.
Some really big fair territories that we have on this field. A lot of room to run, just a lot of ground to cover overall for the outfield. In fair territory and in foul territory alike. Kind of is deceiving. It looks bigger, I think, from our angle than the angle that you see there, because that warning track dirt goes a little bit wider than what you see on that screen.
Moore skies it to left field, but it hangs up and is caught by Dayton. That was a pro flyout. Touched the cloudless sky here in Salt Lake City. 8-6, Utah leads Chicago, top of the fourth inning. A ridiculously different game than what we saw yesterday in a 1-0 Utah win. How about this? Hannah Flippen not just returning home, but she is home for good. The Utah Talons calling Salt Lake City their new home. She was, of course, a star here at the University of Utah, a 3-time All-American, a 2-time Pac-12 Player of the Year, and she is still one of the best doing it. She is mic'd up in the field. Hannah, always a pleasure to talk to you out there. I mean, the simplest question is, how special is it right now to be on this field?
Oh, it's so special. Like, every time I think about being out here, my heart just grows times 10. I'm just like a little kid out here, just a college kid again, so it's really fun.
Erin Coffel leads off the 4th for the Bandits against Megan Faremo. That's ball 1.
Hannah, when you found out that this was going to be your home park in that news, like, where were you? What were you thinking? How did you feel?
Totally. I mean, I don't remember where I was, but I remember thinking, like, man, the city of Utah, the Salt Lake City earned this opportunity, because look at the crowd tonight. Every night they've been out here, they've been loud, and so I give them props, I give them the credit, because that came into play when they were choosing the host cities, like what fans are going to show up, and Salt Lake City showed up, and I'm so grateful for them, and I'm so happy to be a U and be back on my home field.
Okay, so we're about to get something here. It's a tradition. It is the caw chants with 2 strikes. How much do you guys feel this atmosphere on the, is it as loud as it sounds to us?
It is, it is. I mean, even last night it was loud. The wind is blowing. Yes, Jay! Yeah!
So Coffel on that throw, just a little inside of Bree Ellis, and the leadoff is aboard.
Let's get 2 here. Yeah, Meg, I got you.
So you're feeling, because last year we talked about it, the crowds were awesome, but it wasn't, there was no home field advantage. It was just like great softball.
Yeah, that's the best part about this, is now, like, fans aren't just showing up just to cheer on softball and just because they love it. They're showing up to cheer on the Talons. And it's been so special. It's been so cool to, like, be the hometown team. And so excited. They've showed up. They're bought into the cause. It's kind of silly, but they're owning it, and it's been really fun.
Is that a play on words? Bought into the cause?
Bought into the cause. You got it.
I love that.
Yeah. It's been fun to, like, create tradition. Like, we're a new team, and we get to kind of establish how things happen. And so I'm so stoked that the fans are just, like, as in as we are.
You guys are setting the bar high, because we go to Chicago after this, and we were asking Shauna Stanton, the head coach, of, hey, what's your guys' 2-strike tradition?
Totally.
She was like, well, we don't know. We need to come up with one.
Yeah.
So you guys are setting the bar really high.
Yeah, I'm curious to go to the next couple cities and, like, see what it's like and compare. And so far, I mean, I don't know, this seems like it's going to be pretty hard to beat. They're freaking bought in, and I've been to some other places, and these guys, they're all, look at them, listen to them, it's crazy. I'm back!
2-2.
Yeah,
got her!
Baby. I love when she gets fired up. Let's go. Yeah, Meg. Yeah.
Give us the 2 worlds of Megan Faremo, because we talked about that actually. Last night she comes in, she is so fired up, and then we show her in the dugout, and there's this big smile on her face, and it's like, oh, she's the nicest person in the world.
She totally has 2 personalities. She has the on-field personality and then the in-the-circle personality. In the circle, she is locked in. Like, she is fiery and passionate, and then off the field, she is the most thoughtful person that I think I've ever met. Like, just the ideas that she's coming up with for, like, team culture things. It's just so thoughtful and soft. Whereas out here, she's big, strong, and tough.
Jocelyn Erickson at the plate with 1 away and 1 on for Chicago.
Yeah, Meg, me, you. Yes, Jay, come with me.
And I'm curious, everybody talks about, and including us, how great of a leader you are. Where do you feel like you learned to be a leader from?
I think it's just, like, been experience and been, I like being the leader. I like answering the questions that I have for other people. I'm just a player on this team, and if I have the thoughts and if I have the questions, somebody else is asking those questions, and so I just try and find the answers. I'm not doing anything special, but just finding the answers, whether that's how to win or what time are we eating, what time's BP, and so I'm just, like, kind of liaison and watch 3, you're good, you're good, you're good. So what, Meg? Here we go. But I will attribute, like, yep, I got you. Yeah. I will attribute a lot of my leadership qualities to my mom. My mom is a very strong personality and competitor and wants to win so bad. So I take a lot from her. Amy Hogue has shaped me into the leader and softball player that I am, like, forever indebted by her. Maggie Lavery, like there's just so many people that have shaped my career and who I am as a player. And I hope that it just shines in a little bit, like they see a little bit of them inside of me. Right here.
Into the left center gap, Aliyah Andrews covers so much ground, and the runners will stay put. There's 2 outs. Hannah, thank you so much for the time as always, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks. Out of it, Yelly! We got you. Back in it. Yes, I got you. Bree, I got you if you
So
need
2
it.
outs
SJ,
for
coming in
Jessica
this way.
Clements.
Me, you right here. Me, you.
Coffel on second, Erickson on first. UCLA on UCLA, out to left field. Andrews backtrack and makes the catch. Faremo strands a pair. That was Hannah flipping live in the field. One of the best doing it. Halfway through this one in Salt Lake City, Game 3 of our 2025 championship rematch between the Bandits and the Talons. How about this guest that we've got? The AUSL Commissioner Kim Eng joins us for a chair chat out in left field. Kim, we are just beside ourselves excited that the season is finally here. What, from your perspective, what have you seen and been excited most about?
Oh my goodness. Locking these teams down into markets and cities, communities has just been what we've been striving for a good number of months here. So to see it all come to fruition, to see these athletes back out on the field, elite world-class athletes out there, has just been outstanding.
Well, no one told Aliyah Andrews that we had Kim Eng in the chair because she lined out on the first pitch. So there's one away now for Hannah Flippin.
So how about the games that we've been seeing here in Salt Lake?
Yeah, they've been each a little different. You know, we had like a medium scoring game the first game, then a low scoring game last night, and then I definitely will call this one with 9 runs in the first inning more of a high scoring game.
Yeah, definitely, and it's gone back and forth and been a lot of action, so good fun.
Been loving seeing these rookies play the past 3 days and just an impact that they're already having on the league and on their teams. How excited were you for this rookie class that we brought in?
I mean, we've been talking about it for months. There's a shot.
Oh my goodness, Dayton tracks back and makes the catch.
We've been thinking about it for months and months. We knew that this was just an incredible draft class that was coming up. So to see them out on the field, making all kinds of waves, showing what they can do. I mean, Megan Grant last night, 313-foot home run, first hit in the AUSL. That's all you need to know right there, right? Set the NCAA home run record, just been outstanding. And so many others. Carlin Pickens, complete game last night. So just so many storylines that it's been so much fun.
How are you kind of seeing the growth? Obviously, we see the 2 new teams, but what else are you looking at that gives you optimism for the future of the league?
Yeah, I think first and foremost on my radar is the 3-year deal that we signed with ESPN, the 50 games that we're going to have, on ESPN each year. And then, of course, MLB.com.TV, CBS, having all of our slots filled and making our product available every single game is first and foremost. I think looking forward to increased viewership and attendance is certainly on our radar. And again, just watching these athletes every single day.
How big is it for your guys' momentum within AUSL, with the momentum that was created at the World Series with record ratings and viewership and attendance there as well? How do you guys feel that, if at all?
Oh, we feel it. I mean, we talk about it almost every day, especially for those days when we were watching softball every day. I mean, the women that are out on the field are just such incredible athletes, such incredible ambassadors, representatives of the game, incredible storylines, and then you just watch them play, and the talent is just off the charts. So to be able to watch that every day, to see that translate to the pro game, these pitchers, the lineups are so deep that they never get to take a breather.
Kim,
so anyway,
thank you so much for the time, as always. Always great to catch up with you, and hopefully do it again sometime this year.
All right, thank you guys.
Oh my gosh. One thing we've definitely learned, and maybe not even learned, but remembered, been reinforced, she is so passionate about base running. So much of that feedback that she was giving is all about base running. Even that last bit to Bella Dayton, hey, you were showing me a single out of the box. I want you to show me a double with how hard you're getting out of the box. So I just love hearing her coach base running, because you just don't hear coaches talk about it all that much in the same way that Shauna Stanton does.
That was one of the questions when she got hired. Would she bring the aggressive style to the professional game that she employs at Indiana this year? They tied for 3rd in the nation in stolen bases. We've seen them not steal a base yet, but we've seen them put runners in motion in some hit and run situations. We've seen them be extremely aggressive on balls that have gotten away, and that's Sami Williams continuing to swing a great bat here on this opening week. It's a 3-hit game for Sami.
And 5 hits in the series. She should have had more hits in game 2. That was an 0 for 3 that you look down and it's like, man, Sami Williams didn't have any hits last night. She was 0 for 3, but that's just how the game goes sometimes.
Bandits are out hitting the Talons by 4, but find themselves behind 2 runs.
You know, you can see how much confidence that they have in Megan Framo. I was thinking about that in between innings, that they're still continuing to go to her deep in the game.
Dayton lays down the bunt. Ellis does a nice job to field her position there.
But despite giving up 10 hits, despite giving up 6 runs, she's still out there deep into this game.
Sami Williams in scoring position for Ilana Agbayani. Up and in, ball 1 to the 3rd round draft pick, 13th overall in the AUSL college draft by the Chicago Bandits. 7 home runs, 34 RBIs, and a .364 average as she sends it into right field, and Williams is going to score the first hit and the first RBI of Agbayani's career.
She needed that. Struck out in her last at bat. That is someone looking to hit early in the count. Gets an outside pitch that's moving down and away from her. It was even off speed, but she just sticks with it deep into her legs, drives in a run, and pulls Chicago within 1. Back and forth game that we have here tonight. We still have, what, 3 more innings left to play, and there's going to be a lot more scoring left, I think, in this one.
The only Bandit to have hit safely in all 3 games is Morgan Zerkle, and she is now at the plate. Already a 2-hit night for her, so Williams has a 3-hit night. Now Zerkle is going for 1. And fooled by that pitch out of the zone. Zerkle not fooled by that, and it jumps into the outfield. Would have been an incredible snag by Flippin, but Morgan Zerkle has her 3rd hit of the night.
Well, and that was 75 miles an hour off the bat. Again, goes out and gets it. That's an off-speed pitch, 60 miles an hour. The Bandits have been picking up on this off-speed pitch out of the hand of Framo, and Cindy Ball-Malone, who's the head coach of the Talons and also works with the pitchers, is going to come out and talk to her defense and Megan Framo. And it's just interesting with the pitching staff like what the Talons have, that they're just still continuing to stick with Megan Framo despite giving up 12 hits. They've been with 2 strikes, but the approach has been a swing early.
First pitch ball to Coffel. Talked about how great of a selection Montana Fouts was in the mid to late 30s in the inaugural AUSL draft for the Talons. Erin Coffel was a 6th round pick for the Bandits in that inaugural draft that turned into an MVP season last year. League best 28 RBIs as she calls time and steps out of the box. Kentucky's all-time home run leader, 68 of them in her career for Rachel Lawson in Lexington. And then has spent the last 2 years as a graduate manager under Tim Walton at Florida. Coffel walks, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
I mean, this is a moment you have to take advantage of this moment. Megan Framo has now thrown over 100 pitches. The Bandits have been getting to her. You don't want to see a fresh arm come into this game. I mean, the Bandits have to take advantage of a pitcher that they already have had 12 hits against with the bases loaded.
Kern tries to wait on the off speed. It's into left center field and deep enough. Agbayani was very deliberate in leaving on time to score the game-tying run.
I've seen a few sacrifice flies in this game, but you know, when 16 runs are already scored in this game in the 5th inning, you're going to see runs scored a variety of different ways, that's for sure. Offensive game is what we've seen after a pitcher's duel last night, a 1-0 win for the Talons.
Ball 1 to Jocelyn Erickson, who had her first professional hit back in the 1st inning of this game. It was an RBI single. Gold Glove winner at Florida. Had a tremendous, just 3-year career there. It's hard to believe Jocelyn Erickson made the impact on that program that she did, and she was actually only there 3 years. Started her career at Oklahoma.
Love the fact that she can both catch and play first base, a lefty power hitter. She was definitely one of the more coveted draft picks and a star-studded senior class because of her versatility.
5th overall pick in the 1st round. 2-2. The Bandits are going to be happy to get to Rosemont and get away from the Caw chants. They will have an incredible fan base at their backs when their series starts on Saturday with the Oklahoma City Spark. There's some tradition in Rosemont. They play at Parkway Bank Sports Complex, which is on the street named after one of the legends of this game, Jenny Finch Way. Erickson goes down swinging. Framo strands a pair, but we're tied at 8.
She is still fighting in this game. Over 100 pitches thrown, works out of a jam here with leaving 2 on, going under the hands with the rise ball to Erickson.
Another packed house in Salt Lake City, 8 each. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Utah coming to the plate. Jayda Coleman will lead it off, and with more on her, we go to Anna Camden.
Chucky, if I say the word natty, most sports people's minds go to national championship, and that's exactly what Jayda Coleman had in mind when she named her dog Natty. The day after she won her 4th national championship at Oklahoma, she told me she went to Walmart, and there was a guy outside holding a puppy. She asked to hold the puppy, and he literally handed it to her and said, "You can keep her." She named her Natty, and now the 2 are best buds.
That is an awesome story, especially for this broadcast booth, because we are both huge dog people, and that is a very cute dog.
I was literally just waving at a dog. Like, as Anna was talking about Natty, there was a dog that went right in front of us. We're definitely dog people, is my point there.
And what an appropriate name for somebody who is a history maker at Oklahoma with that unbelievable senior class that completed the 4-peat.
It's just crazy. They never ended their season collegiately with a loss. They only ended it with a win all 4 years that they were together.
Coleman rakes it out to right field, but right at Zerkle, the first out. Pfizer delivers strike 1 to Sharlize Palacios. They were just talking about those 4 national championships. Before, Texas just went back-to-back. The last team to win before Oklahoma's four-peat was actually the starting pitcher for the Talons today, Megan Framo, in her freshman year at UCLA. That team was, of course, led by Rachel Garcia, Bubba Nichols, Camarena, and others. There's Megan.
The Bandits have left 8 on base. The Talons have only left 1. And think about how it's an 8-8 score right now, and Chicago has double the amount of hits as Utah has. And when you leave 8 on base, they had an opportunity to score more. Framo has been able to strand some runners despite still giving up 8 runs.
Half of the Talons' runs have come with 2 out. We showed you the series coming up, Chicago and Oklahoma City. It's a long plane ride to Chicago tomorrow, especially if you get swept. Feels a lot better if you can get one here in Utah before you leave.
Well, and sweeps are so hard in this league. We see it in the college game as well, but sweeps are so hard to do because all these teams are so talented. So we saw Cascade avoid a sweep earlier today with the run rule win. And then Spark ended up winning their series against the Texas Volts. They ended up having a walk-off, which was a hit-by-pitch RBI for the walk-off win.
Amari Harper with the bases loaded. She's had a really good start to her rookie campaign. As Palacios drives it out to left field, 2 outs. It is a short season, though, and it was a big part of the Bandits' success last year was the tremendous start they got off to. Finished 15-9, but they started 9-2, and then after the break, took a little bit of a break in the middle of the season, almost an international break for those of you who follow European soccer. And after that, they just didn't come back like they had finished. Still had a great season overall. Lost in the championship series to the Talons. Foul ball from Allchin, and Pfizer's ahead 0-2. Another foul ball. Be curious to the relationship this week. Saw Amber Pfizer and Taryn McKinney, the Chicago pitching coach, interacting, and it seemed like they had really hit it off. But Amber Pfizer, a young pitching coach in her coaching career, now getting a chance to work for and kind of with one of the better pitching coaches in our game over the last 3 or 4 years in Taryn McKinney.
Well, remember, Taryn was a Bandit, so sticking with that lineage of being able to now coach for the team that she once played for.
Bounced in by Pfizer, 2-2.
And she just did such a tremendous job with the Mississippi State pitching staff this year, and Mississippi State going to the World Series for the first time in program history, and their pitching staff being a big part of that, with Peja Gold getting a golden ticket and being drafted, and Alyssa Faircloth, who has another year.
Allchin chased it, and a clean 1-2-3 inning for Amber Pfizer. We go to the 6th, still tied in Salt Lake City.
Volts were leading for, felt like the majority of that game. And then a big bottom of the 5th inning got the Spark right back into it, and then they walked it off in the 7th.
New pitcher for Utah, and it is Montana Fouts. She started this series for the Talons, went the distance, gave up 8 hits, 2 earned runs, and struck out 4. Those 2 earned runs were 6 innings of work ago. Came in the very first inning in night number 1.
And her drop was really effective against Chicago when she made the adjustment after the first inning where she gave up those 2 runs. She went more to her drop. That last pitch to Iakopo was a drop that she swung over the top of it. That was a pitch that really helped her out. Another one there.
The Bandits in 2025 were 2-0 when tied after 5 innings. Can they get to Montana Fouts quickly like they did the other day? Not with that pitch. She freezes Mary Iakopo, who had a really good night at the plate up to that point.
The height of this curveball is so good. 2-strike count. She had been going to her drop, and then she goes to a curveball that just paints the outside corner right at the knees.
Strike 1 to Jessica Clements. As Montana Fouts' season developed last year and you started to see really the best of her, what is it that you remember from the Alabama days that you are seeing now that shows you that she's back on top of her game?
I think she does such a good job of just living on the corners with her curveball. She'll throw it backdoor, so outside to these left-handed hitters like you saw in the first pitch of this at-bat, and then being able to throw it away from the right-handed hitters as well. But she just spots that pitch so well, and to me everything works off of that pitch, because then she can go down with her drop or up with her rise when she needs to. But when that curveball is hitting corners and helping her get strikes to work from ahead like she is here, then it's tough because she might go down or she might go up.
Ground ball left side, flipping, got to be quick. That was a great pick by Bree Ellis, but Clements is safe. Flippin and company looking for a challenge, and that'll bring Cindy Ball Malone out of the dugout. Let's see if she wants to.
I thought she was out. Oh, yeah. And a really nice pick by Bree Ellis. She's out by a good half
Utah
step.
is challenging the play at first base. The call on the field is safe. That play is under further review. After review, the call on the field is changed. The runner is out. This is Utah's second and final challenge.
Well, challenge well used, because Sami Williams is coming up, who just homered a few innings ago and has a 3-hit night going, so you don't want to give her anybody to work with. Flippin and Ellis combining on the nice out. Williams swinging first pitch. Allchin there. 1, 2, 3 from Montana Fouts. Off to an excellent start in 2026. Competing. Bree Ellis will lead off the inning for the Talons. That pitch is inside from Amber Fizer. It's Ellis, Jacobsen, and Moore. Ellis struck out with the bases loaded, was the second batter to face Fizer back in the 3rd inning when she entered this game for Mariah Lopez. The Bandits have been so close in this series. You go back to game 1, even though it looked a little more lopsided, 5-2, not bad, but a couple runs in there that defensively they could have probably taken care of, and that would have been a 1-run game at one point. And then last night, 1-0, they lost to the Talons. They've just had some opportunities offensively when they didn't come through in situational hitting, and then defensively there's been some miscues. Ellis trying to compose herself after thinking that was ball 4. That is ball 4. Let's go down to Anna with more on the Bandits.
Yeah, Chucky, this game is huge for momentum for the Bandits. They actually haven't even been back to Chicago. They came here straight from spring training down in Vero Beach, and Morgan Zerkle told me that they can't wait to get their rookies there, to show them Chicago, to show them their whole home field where they take pride in playing. And rookie Jocelyn Erickson has never even been to the city. So carrying this momentum back home would be a huge turnaround for them after dropping the first 2 of the season, and they're really looking to get that here tonight.
Who we have not seen in the 2026 season yet.
Well, and she's going to complement Amber 𝐲𝐳 really well, because 𝐲𝐲, a right-handed pitcher that predominantly throws curveballs, so a curveball is going to spin away from these right-handed hitters. But Odyssey is going to come in and throw into them with her screw and her rise hard in. So a completely different look. She also has an off-speed curveball and a changeup that she will throw in there as well, but I like the way that she follows up after 𝐲𝐲 pitches.
Jacobsen showed bunt there after she hit a double off the wall her last time up to clear the bases. Eight runs on just 6 hits. If you showed everything in this but runs, you might think they had maybe 1 or 2. Jacobsen to left field, foul.
Well, they're bringing in the pitching change to pitch to Caroline Jacobsen because of the fact that Jacobsen had such a good swing off of Amber 𝐲𝐲 in her last at bat. Remember, that was right after Brielas struck out against 𝐲𝐲 in that 12-pitch at bat, and then Jacobsen had a 3 RBI double off of her, but a nice swing on the inner half, looking for that inner half against Odyssey like we were talking about.
Swing and a miss.
And then she goes away. She saw that swing that Jacobsen had off of his screwball and how she really squared it up. So then they go away with what was called a drop ball on the outside corner. It stays up a little bit, but she could have thrown anything, I think, on the outside corner because of how Jacobsen was looking in instead.
Maddie Moore takes strike 1. Maddie Moore, great story. She's in her rookie season. She hadn't played in over a year because wasn't drafted out of college, had a tremendous career at Clemson. And so now here she is, a full-time member, was drafted in the 4th round of the allocation draft by Lisa Fernandez. Trying to carve out her spot in this lineup as an everyday player.
We've seen Odyssey pitch for just a few innings, but I think she looks really good to start this season. Just think about how tough that is to recover from having a baby and then start to train and get back into the mix of things and prepare yourself to be a professional athlete in May.
Popped up shallow right. Agbayani drifts over for out number 2.
I know it's early, but you know, when you just watch a lot of pitching and watch a lot of games, you can just tell when somebody is on, and you can also tell when somebody is just not, when they're struggling. But when you see the pitch calls being made and her hitting these spots consistently with all the variety of different pitches that she's throwing, she has great command. Well, minus that right there. Set up on the outside corner for a changeup, almost hits Aliyah Andrews. She holds onto it, but besides that pitch, she has had great command.
Strike 1 to Aliyah.
Just being able to hit these spots consistently. It's something that at times had been lacking in her pitching the past couple of years, being able to throw one pitch like that, but not being able to do it consistently.
Ground ball right side. That is a very nice relief appearance from Odyssey Alexander Bennett. Can she get some run support as we go to the 7th, still tied at 8? We're in the 7th inning, and we are all tied up. We've already seen one walk-off today. The Bandits don't want that. They want a game winner here in the 7th, and then a clean inning from Odyssey Alexander Bennett in the bottom half. 8-9-1 due up. So can Bella Dayton and Ilana Agbayani set the table for Zerkle and Coffel at the top, who have been untouchable tonight? Bella Dayton crushes this right at Allchin.
That was a nice swing by Bella Dayton. This is just such a tough park for hitters. She is on time with this curveball in, gets her barrel there. Boom. Flew off of her bat, but Allchin playing deep on this big field.
Slow roller. 𝐒𝐴𝐲𝐻 on the move, and Moore covered quickly. 2 outs.
Now batting number 18.
5 batters faced for Montana Fouts. She's retired all of them, and she's only taken 13 pitches to do it. She is as good as they come when she's at her best, and she is at her best right now. But so is Morgan Zerkle at the plate. Two-0 count to Zerkle, who had just a ridiculous 9th professional season a year ago. .420 average, 3rd best in the league. 9 doubles led the league, 9 home runs led the league, and 2nd in RBIs to her teammate Erin Coffel. And I mentioned it yesterday, but probably 2nd in the MVP and Hitter of the Year voting to Erin Coffel as well. Zerkle does not see a hittable pitch and takes her base.
Here's Erin Coffel.
And now Coffel. That's 6 straight balls now thrown by Montana Fouts.
After getting all those quick outs, as you mentioned, coming in relief last inning.
Coffel digs in, 2-0, 3-0.
Well, the big difference tonight, too, for all the hits that the home runs that we've seen, is that the wind is not howling in like it was last night. At times, the flag had just been laying still. Right now, there's a little bit of a breeze. But last night, the wind was blowing in at like 35 miles an hour with gusts. They got cold really fast, too.
Forced Anna Camden into a wardrobe change. She had to find a jacket.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was a little dramatic. I thought it was just fine up here in the booth. Coffel watches strike 1.
That was a good-looking pitch to hit to potentially have a green light on that 3-0, especially with a rookie on deck and a rookie in the hole. Kern and Erickson following Coffel. She needs to be looking for a mistake and looking to be the one with the hit.
3-2. Here we go. The crowd is going to get behind Montana Fouts here. And she walks her. Coffel gave a big point to the rookie Taryn Kern, who will get a crack at this.
Erin Coffel has had 6 walks in this series. They're going to need some rookies to step up, and Jenny Dawn-Hill told us we need these rookies to play big.
Well, the missing piece of this offense is Skylar Wallace, who would likely might be in this spot right here or in front of Coffel for her to protect her. Instead, it's Taryn Kern, the slugger from Stanford. Chases that pitch, and she's behind in the count, 0-2. Taryn hit .385 with 18 home runs at Stanford this year. She learned from the last one. Already a couple hits in her career. Had one in the first inning, a sac fly later in the game. Fights that pitch off. Talons trying to be the only team to sweep the opening series. Got to get out of the inning here. Bounced in and it gets away, so both runners advance. Kern got behind 0-2 quick, and she has fought her way back into this at bat. Two-two. Kern, right field, Allchin turns and makes the catch. Some hard hit balls that found gloves in that inning, and now the Talons have a chance to walk it off. 8-8 as we go to the bottom of the 7th in Salt Lake City. We're wrapping up the opening series for all 6 teams. The other 2 games already done today, and we're back on Saturday, so an off day tomorrow, and then we'll get things going again noon Eastern on ESPN. Texas Volts and the Carolina Blaze kick things off before the Spark and Bandits over on ESPN2, and then the Cascade and Talons round out our Saturday lineup on CBS Sports Network.
I'm loving these triple headers. I am here for it. Had all the softball and the NCAA postseason, and now we get all the softball and the AUSL season.
As much as I would love another season, another month of this season, let's get it to a 40-game season, whatever it might be. There's some serious drama when you're only playing 25 games and there's 3 postseason spots.
Well, and a game like this, as we've been talking about, for Chicago to avoid a sweep is massive. 0-3 feels a lot different than 1-2.
Hannah Flippin to lead it off. Back where it all started for Hannah Flippin at Utah. You just wonder, how many times did she win a game with one swing in this ballpark? That gets away from Odyssey, 2-1. Hannah's in her 10th year as a pro. She's played professionally overseas in Japan as well. No, let's go flip chance here in Salt Lake City. Hannah Flippin become a mainstay on Patty Gasso's United States teams recently. Gold at the World Games last summer. She was also on the Down Under Series team. They went to Australia kind of at the end of December, beginning of January. She was on that team as well. Watches that pitch, 3-2.
Talking about Odyssey's command in that last inning, she's missing some spots pretty big here in this inning.
Flippin pops it up. Coffel under it. 1 out.
Just a big out. Big out with the way that she struggled with a couple of those pitches that were big misses to get Hannah Flippin, who the crowd was behind and wanted to find a way to get on base late in this game.
One down for Odyssey. Now Savannah Jaquith takes strike 1. Jaquith also a member of that gold medal winning World Games team. Didn't play a lot last year. She was a little bit banged up. Also ended up kind of behind Sydney Romero and Sharlize Palacios over at third and then behind the plate. Oh-2 from Odyssey. 5 consecutive wins for the Talons over the Bandits. Dates back to the last time they faced in the regular season last year, the championship series, and then the first 2 games of this year. Think about how great this crowd's been this weekend. We talked a lot about it. It's been everywhere that we've seen. Get the weekend games now. First time we'll have weekend games.
Yes.
Think about these folks are coming out on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. Saturday, Sunday to start the weekend series. 𝐒𝐴𝐸 foul.
Well, and I've loved the fans that have come out and hung out on the berm. I just always think that's such a cool aspect when fields have that. Alabama's field is like that, so is Arkansas, just to have that berm where people can go and lay out a blanket and sit down, choose their seat.
𝐒𝐴𝐸 ground ball, Coffel onto it. Quick throw across, 2 outs. We are an out away from our first extra inning game of this 2026 season. Does Jayda Coleman have anything to say about it? Strike 1. Just outside from Odyssey. The wind is as still as it has been all week here in Salt Lake City. 64 degrees tonight. I mean, that is the first time we've looked up and seen that flag not blowing.
Yeah, I looked up earlier and it's kind of been a little on and off, but I feel like mostly like slightly on with a hint of off the way that it is now with that beautiful sky behind it.
Popped up. Williams really quickly got over to the fence, but it is out of play.
Home plate umpire Alex Leap just threw the ball back to Odyssey, and it was a bit of an errant throw, and just the way that she looked back at him and just kind of had some fun with him there, and a really serious moment that had some levity to it here.
Another 1-2 to Coleman. Just outside. She says, come on.
Yeah.
You didn't throw it right back to me and then you don't give me the call?
Yeah, she's thinking it right now. You know she is. And that was an excellent spot. And an even better take by Jayda Coleman to not swing at it.
That is outside 3-2. Odyssey entered into this game with a runner on last inning and nobody out. She's retired 5 straight. Full count. In the air, left center. Over goes Dayton to make the catch, and we have extras for the first time in 2026. Bandits get the bats when we come back. Jocelyn Erickson leads it off. A runner does begin the inning on second base. It's the last recorded out, so it's Taryn Kern as they try to bunt with Jocelyn Erickson. Sharlize Palacios will run that thing all the way to second to put Kern back on the base. Erickson pops up the bunt, and Ellis makes the play.
It's exactly what Montana Fouts wanted.
Batter was out of the box. Utah takes the out.
It's a bunt situation. Taryn Curran was, or excuse me, Jocelyn Erickson was going to be called out of the box regardless. The home plate umpire called it right away. So Utah gets to choose if they're going to take the out. But rise ball in that bunt situation always, or not always, but oftentimes going to lead to a popped up bunt and a lack of a productive out there for Chicago.
Pinch hitter for the Bandits. It's going to be Elon Butler, the rookie out of Oregon. Chases the pitch high out of the zone for strike one. Has a ton of power, 18 doubles, 19 home runs in her lone season at Oregon as a first-team All-American this year.
And she has a big swing with a lot of pop. If she can connect with one, it's going to go a long way. Key for her is going to be to not chase that rise ball that Montana has been throwing her the past couple of games.
Did she go? She did. Shonda Stanton disagrees wholeheartedly. 1-2.
Much better take there. So full swing to check swing strike to then full-fledged take on the rise ball as this at bat has gone on.
(3-2). We saw this from Kern last inning, got behind early and then really worked her way back into the at-bat, put a great swing on a ball that was right at the right fielder Allchin. Got her swinging. Strikeout number 2 for Montana.
If somebody shows you that they're going to swing it that early in the count, you just keep throwing it. And it's what Montana did. Got her to chase well out of the strike zone. All 3 strikes and then at bat were off of the rise.
Montana Fouts now 8 2/3 innings, just 2 earned runs allowed, and they came in the very first inning of the first game of the season. Clements fouls that back, 1-2 count. And remember, we all remember Montana Fouts, that knee injury in the 2023 SEC tournament. She missed a couple weeks, didn't return until Super Regionals, and then helped Alabama get back to Oklahoma City with that knee injury. Another foul ball by Clements.
Looked like she shook off what was called a drop ball in, and with the pitch clock, there's no time to recall the pitch. So at that point, once she shakes off, I think Palacios is just in a reaction situation if the pitcher shakes off.
Got her swinging. Montana Fouts fired up. Another chance for the Talons to walk it off.
The Talons sure have had a lot of strikeouts in the late innings with their horses, feeling the pressure in tight games, but being able to come through. Montana Fouts, 2 strikeouts in the 8th.
Bottom of the 8th, and another chance for Utah to walk it off and sweep the series over Chicago. New pitcher in for the Bandits. It is Bree Copeland. Couple years removed from college now in her first AUSL season out of Indiana. Played for Shonda Stanton there. We saw her in relief yesterday. Was really good. 3 1/3, 3 hits, and no runs allowed for Copeland out of the bullpen. Palacios lays down the bunt. Williams makes the play, but the winning run now stands at third base.
Well, and again, the difference in pitch calling. Bree Copeland's going to be more of a drop ball pitcher that they bring in. So in a bunt situation, a drop ball is going to be much more easy to put a bunt down than the Montana Fouts rise ball. Palacios putting the bunt down, understanding how important that 60 feet is, to be 60 feet away now from winning this game.
Now Jadelyn Allchin. Fouls the first pitch back. I think Lisa Fernandez felt like Jadelyn Allchin was meant to be a Talon. She was out of the reserve athlete pool last year, played the entire season, but they got healthy at the end, and she didn't get to play in the championship. And now Allchin delivers. A walk-off winner for Jadelyn Allchin, and the Talons sweep their opener.
That's why that bunt is so important, because there's just so many different ways to score a runner from third base. And Allchin even got fooled on that changeup, but stuck with it long enough to be able to find a hole in the outfield. And Allchin just loving up this crowd and these fans, giving them so much love for their support, and her walk-off swing to sweep Chicago, the opening series. Talons picking up right where they left off.